All right, welcome back to the Rona Roundup. It is Tuesday, May 26th. I hope you had a nice long weekend. Let me jump into your news. So the Mid-Hudson region of New York will begin phase 1 of reopening today. That is Westchester. Long Island will begin phase 1 of reopening tomorrow. As Andrew Cuomo says, be smart about this reopening. So I think you probably don't need to jump out there and just go to everything that reopens right at once, but I'm not your mom, so do whatever you want. However, let's aim to not do this whole quarantine thing over again, shall we? All right, moving on to the New York Stock Exchange. So the trading floor of the New York Stock Exchange reopened today for the first time in 2 months. And who rang the bell other than our very own Andrew Cuomo? Well, he will be going to Washington tomorrow to meet with the president. He's hoping to discuss some public works projects that will create jobs and improve infrastructure in and around New York. I'm hoping for a train to LaGuardia. Nobody asked me, though. All right, on a positive Rona note, the biotech company Novavax starting human trials of a coronavirus vaccine in Australia. Just thought I'd throw in some positive news because we don't really get much. All right, let's talk about Memorial Day weekend that just passed us. Somehow it went from remembering those who died in military service to a day of us all taking off of work and barbecuing. Well, based on the crowded beaches and pool parties this weekend, you would never be able to tell that in 18 states, new coronavirus cases are actually rising. Yeah. Well, I went on a hike yesterday, and I would say about 50% of the people were actually wearing masks, which was largely concerning, especially because everybody's breathing was really heavy. Ugh, it was gross. Anyway, Trump celebrated Memorial Day weekend in no other than his two favorite activities, blasting out angry tweets and back-to-back golf days. Probably an orange spray tan in there, but didn't see that, don't want to see that. It was also in Trump's direct order that places of worship opened this weekend, including churches, synagogues, as if God wants your germs, he doesn't. So that was Memorial Day weekend. Now let's dive into Orange Donnie. So Don tweeted himself this weekend, "The Democrats are trying to rig the 2020 election, plain and simple," which is ironic after what I saw on Friday. So if this is the Democrats' best attempt, I am afraid. I'll get into Joe Biden's cringeworthy interview in a little bit. Trump's angry tweets were sparked by how he thinks mail-in voting is cheating. If you missed that story, you can refer back to last week's roundups. Analysts have called out Trump's patterns of planting seeds of delegitimizing the election just in case he loses. He needs something to blame. We know Trump loves to bring people together on this idea of hating the enemy, which is basically anyone whose views differ from him in the slightest. All right, and now on to my favorite segment, sports. Let's talk about how the NBA might be the first ones to return. They are in preliminary talks about starting in July at Disney's ESPN Wide World of Sports complex, which sounds like a place I would thrive at if you know anything about my personal life. Anyway, it's in Florida. You know, I love Florida stories too. And it would be an NBA village for all games, practices, housing, etc. NBA in July, I'm not against it. But also, did anybody ask me? No. Theme of the day. All right, lastly, let's talk about masks. So you're heading to the store, you're trying to remember your reusable bags, your keys, your wallet. You forget your mask. I get it. It happens. Well, now it's not really a problem because they have mask vending machines popping up. So there's one on the Lower East Side. They're popping up all over New York City. And apparently, according to David Edelman, who is the co-founder of Rapid Masks to Go, they're in talks of opening these in other cities. So they're $3 to $4, which is less than a cup of coffee here in New York and way less than your coronavirus doctor bills would be. I guess you'll have to bring your own M&Ms from now on. Welcome to the future. And if you think you don't need a mask, that's cool because it's not about you. It's about other people. So be respectful, wear a mask. That is all for today's news, and I will see you guys tomorrow.